103. On the module DD 103, a study in arts and humanities investigating the social world 1. Edited by Karim Murji. Chapter 3, Home Ownership, Investment, Wealth and Equality, page 90. 5,000 when they came to sell. Would the family that borrowed more still be on one that gained more? House prices fell. The relative fortunes of the two families in this example would be very different. A resale price of 95,000 means that each has suffered a capital loss of 5,000 for family B, which borrowed heavily. Return on equity is 5,000, 20,000 equals minus 25% for family A, which borrowed a much smaller amount. The ROE is minus 5, 80,000 equals minus 6.25%. So family B, which has the bigger positive ROE, when house prices rise, also suffers a bigger negative ROE. When house prices fall, or leverage multiplies the proportional capital gains in the rising market, also multiplies the proportional capital loss in the falling market. If households' inclination to buy their homes in property as an investment that will preserve and expand their wealth. Borrowing for an investment purchase, such as a house, multiples the capital gain if its price rises, but also multiples capital loss if its price falls. Households' life chances may also improve if they live in owner-occupied rather than rented accommodation, but the cause and effect are hard to demonstrate. Page 91. Is there evidence that people buy houses as an investment? Is there evidence that people buy houses as an investment? Section 2.2 suggested 2 reasons why households might treat house purchase as an investment. The rising house price might help to protect their wealth against inflation, and it might help to multiply their wealth by generating high ROI through the use of a loan. But is this investment actually an important motive for house buying? One way to answer this would be to ask a group of owner-occupiers why they bought their homes in Great Britain. The ONS did this, and its first Wealth and Asset Survey, WAS, conducted between 2006 and 2008. This survey involved a representative sample of households, chosen to match the general population on such characteristics as income, age and housing status as a survey of households. The WAS excluded people who were not part of one, such as those living in prisons, homeless hostels, student halls of residence or long-term care homes. It also did not count as personal wealth. Any small businesses owned and run by household members or any state pension entitlements. The WAS found that personal net wealth billion or 9 in Great Britain in the period 2006-2008. Table 3.3 shows a breakdown of this wealth into 4 types: property, accumulated private pension contributions, financial assets such as shares, and physical wealth, items that hold their value and can be resold, such as artwork and collectible cars. It's only about half hour reading, ladies and gents. The first was page 92. The first WAS revealed that Great Britain's household wealth totaled 9 trillion in the period 2006 to 8, and that it had 25 million households. It found that median household wealth was 204,000. What was Great Britain's median household wealth in the period of 2006-2008? What does this tell you about the way household wealth was distributed at its time? Mean household wealth in the period 2006-2008, found by dividing total wealth by a number of households, it was 9 billion, 25,260,000. The figure is much higher than the median household wealth of 204,000, which is the wealth of the middle household in the distribution. One that's wealthier than half the population and less wealthier than the other half. When the mean exceeds the median net wealth, why it is zero or negative for the least well off. This concentration of households above the median are 91% of total wealth, or 8.2 billion of the 9 billion total, while 50% below the median own just 9% of the Great Britain total of 0.8 billion. Table 3.3 shows that in the period of 2006, households in total had as much wealth tied up in the property as its pension saving. As before, the unequal distribution of wealth means this aggregate figure hides some very big differences between the situation of different households. As respondents to the WAS were asked if they owned their homes, it is possible to divide the result into owners and renters, remembering that people without homes were excluded from the survey. Among the 68% who were homeowners, the median household had net property wealth, i.e. their house prices minus any mortgage debt, of 150,000, the other 32% who are renting their homes and no property assets. Most also have had no mortgage liabilities, so their net property wealth would be zero. But within the 68% of homeowners, there were some whose net property wealth was less than zero in 2008, because their homes were worth less than the debt secured against them. This negative equity was in many cases linked to the housing market downturn that began in the UK in 2007. Although housing forms a large part of the assets that British households accumulate over their lifetime, this does not necessarily mean that they buy property as part of an investment strategy, but the WAS also asked two different questions, reported in Table 3.4, the answer to which suggests investment to be an important motivation. In Table 3.4, that what percentage of respondents strongly agreed or tended to agree with the proposition that property investment is the best way to save for retirement? What percentage strongly disagreed or tended to disagree with this proposition? Can it be inferred from Table 3.4 that housing buying is more popular than pension saving as a way to prepare for retirement? According to Table 3.4, 57% of the respondents showed some measures of agreement with the proposition that house purchase is the best form of retirement saving. And results are not entirely clear, as it looks as if some respondents agreed with both the propositions, with one option being the best. Note too that have confused respondents because serving is usually thought of as putting money aside in a safe place, such as a savings account, whereas investment implies taking more risk. Table 3.4 does indicate that a significant proportion of British home buyers in 2006-2008 were motivated by investment, especially aimed at financing their retirement. I'm going to leave that there. I've got my niece saying, and I don't think it's appropriate that I'm reading, but I did try, and I thought, you know what, I feel a bit guilty. I've got a young child, not young, she's a, but anyway, thanks for coming through. I'm going to call that the day. Lovely, speak soon. God bless.
And I would say